Okay then, welcome to KSP. This is the demo and we're going to do a little bit of explanation as to the rocket I used to get us to the moon. Let's see if it'll... oh yeah, forgot, this is the demo. That button doesn't work. So if you're using the demo version of KSP and you want to edit something in the VAB, you have to first go to the launch pad and select your rocket. In which case I will select... oh hey, I got to build it from scratch. Perfect, no problem. We'll build it from scratch. It'll be even better. I was going to do my moonshot and demonstrate how to bake it, but I guess I'm actually going to have to make the rocket today. So, first off, of course, start with our Mark 1 capsule. Design our crew return vehicle, which will be a capsule, or I mean a parachute, a something. All right, there's our decoupler. Now we get to design the lander. So we'll put a science part on it because why not? Just because. And let's put some canisters on it because again, why not? Okay. That's that. Next is the turn vehicle. So we're gonna go 3 fuel tanks, then an engine, which is the only engine we get here is this guy. Hear strange noises from the background. That is my kids playing Minecraft while I'm recording, so they better not be rude about it or I will spank their butts. Alright, so there's that. I'll put another 2 on there like so. And one of the things I'm going to end up doing to make this a little more aerodynamic and give us more command authority is to put capsules on here. These are not going to be manned. They're simply going to be there for the extra capsule torque. And that's it. And also to improve aerodynamics, we'll put on some parachutes. They're not going to do anything. They're just there as placeholders. Okay, so this is what's going to land on the moon. Alright, so I need to adjust how this sits. Oops, wrong button. I want this button. Alright, so I've selected my part here. We're going to press C. That changes my angle snap off. This allows us to move our parts much easier. And we'll just kind of more or less aim sort of like that. And then we got to put our landing legs on. So now I put C again so it snaps to grid. We'll go like so. And we'll see how it looks when it's ended. And that looks like it's not going to work. So what we'll do, pick up the entire part. And we'll go like this. That looks much better. Now the issue is this is blocking my ladder, so I could actually get away with putting them on the back side, and then it snaps the 3-way symmetry, so it makes more sense. There's my clearance, the bell, the legs, and now I got a straight shot down from the little ladder bit there, which you only have these, but anyway. Alright, so now I need some solar panels. So hey, guess what, that ladder I was talking about not blocking? I'm blocking it again. So we'll go up here. We might need some battery power, so what we're going to do here is we're going to put them, if I can get the camera to cooperate, we're going to put them on the back side of the capsules, like so. There, that'll work. Okay, so now I can put the lander legs back. And we'll use some space tape, some strut connectors. We're going to put them on the capsules right there. And we're going to go up to the top of this tank. Ding, there we go. There, that's nice and shored up. This won't have enough thrust to weight ratio to take off from Kerbin. It might have just a little. Anyway. Alright, let's get some more space here. I gotta get this thing into orbit. Well, first I have to get this thing to the moon. We'll worry about landing after we get to the moon. So we're going to make some tanks. So if you hold down Alt and you select a part like this tank here, boom, I got 2 more tanks. I can do that again for like all 4 or something. Or I can just do 2 more like that. And now we'll put an engine on. This is what's hopefully going to carry us all the way to the moon. If I have any left over by the time I get to the moon, it's awesome, but I'm not counting on it. Alright, so I'll put those decouplers on. And I think what we'll do now is we'll go like this. 2 more, and then we'll put more of those bad boys on there. Alright, so what's that do for us? Well, I got 4 engines at the start. Well, not at the start because that's all messed up. The staging order is all screwed up because I'm kind of doing it in this weird sequence, but that's okay. Not a problem. Not a big deal. Now I want to have this parallel stage so all 4 of these engines burn at once. So I'll do a fuel line from the bottom of this outer tank to this middle tank. What this will do is it will drain these 8 tanks first while this engine's burning. So this engine's pirating fuel from these 24 outer tanks. So all 4 engines are being fed off 24. Once these decouplers fire, this middle tank has these 6 fuel tanks. This middle engine has these 6 tanks to use to get us to the moon. But what if that's not enough, you say? Excellent question. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to do some more. We're going to go like here for giggles, and I'll take these 6 tanks, hold down Alt Select, and then that gets me for fuel. Just like that. And already it copies the fuel lines also. Of course, that looks really stupid, so we're not going to use that. We're going to select like this. And that gets me my, I can fix it like this, like so. There. Now I have 7 engines all running off of this outer 18 tanks. And then 4 engines running off 24. And then 1 engine running off. You're going to find that these outer tanks are going to run out pretty quickly. We'll throw some of those on there. So, this should be enough to get us into space, into Kerbin orbit. Now, we need some more space tape because this is going to be a wobbly mess if I don't about it. We'll go like this to here, and we'll shore up this to here. Okay. Now, if you're wondering how struts work, the reason why I did up here and not up here is because these 3 parts, this tank, this decoupler, and this tank, are very close together in terms of part count. This tank and this tank are very far away from each other in terms of part count. You gotta go up, over, and down. So what you do with a strut is you say, no, these 2 parts are right next to each other in terms of part count. So you basically use struts to shore up your design. You don't have to go totally nuts with struts anymore. These. Alright, another feature in the game which came about not too long ago, which made its way into the demo, is part highlighting. When you have your mouse over the parts here in the staging order, I can tell that all 3 of these parts are on one stage. So I want to put them fire after the engines. All the engines are on there. Yep, they sure are. And then these vertical decouplers fire, and then I'm gonna lose. I'll lose my center booster, which is fine. And then these parachutes can just disappear over with these side decouplers up here in my rocket. Which we will fire the engine down here to go along with this. Finally, I'll lose my capsule and then my parachute, the last bit. So this is basically feature complete. This is a complete rocket. Now, if you're wondering why I tied it up here, it's because I could. Habits. Old habits die hard, and I'm no exception to that. So we need some fins to help this thing steer a little bit to keep it pointing where we want to point it. So we'll put 3 on the center stack, and we'll put 1 each on these outermost boosters, like so. All the weight looks like it's going to get borne out by the 3 outer boosters. That's okay. If I don't want to have that happen, I can go like this. Then I can go. We'll go up here a bit. So. I think I can go a little bit more out, just a bit. You can clip the towers into other things, into other towers. It's not going to matter much. Now that's a pretty vertical drop, but that's free height, right, for a rocket. So we can go down a bit, no problem. And you got to make sure that all your towers are going to fire at the same time as your engines. Otherwise, you'll drop your rocket onto the pad and blow up, and you'll be like, "What happened, dude?" And you'll feel pretty silly. Alright, so Jebediah is our one pilot. It doesn't highlight which one he's in. Can't even right click to find out where he's at, but he should be in the first one. So, that is our rocket. This is what's going to take us to the moon. If I really felt like it, I could put on some more decouplers and throw a bunch of SRBs on here, but the SRB selection's not that great. It's only these stupid RT-10 hammers. And I get just a little bit less thrust off these Reliants, but I got 7 of them burning versus however many of those hammers I put on. So let's go see if this thing flies. We'll name it something. Moonshot. Save it. I'll do one last sanity check of my staging order, because this is where mistakes usually happen for me, is my staging order is being all screwed up. And everything looks good. Save it, we'll launch it, we'll see where we get. I'm aiming to get this thing into low Earth or low Kerbin orbit. I'm not going to do the whole mission because I've done this before. But this is more or less what I've used in the past. Alright, so T brings up your SAS. The demo does add the ability for your pilot to hold all these features, which is great. Z is full throttle, X kills throttle, so we want full throttle from the start. Spacebar takes you to space. That was loud. I turned that stuff down. Jeb's looking like he's liking the flight, but that's no big surprise because he always likes to flight. And I'm going to see if I can heal this thing over now. And I might need some more flywheels. This thing's barely turning. So, guess what? That's why we test things. Revert to vehicle assembly. I need more capsule torque. Well, that doesn't work because I already have like 4 capsules on this thing. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go to control. And we're going to put some inline reaction wheels on this mess. We'll hit X, changes my symmetry, we'll double those guys up there. And actually, that's probably a bit excessive for my lander, so guess what? We'll put those away. Here's what we'll do. We're going to do some shenanigans. I need them when I launch, but I don't need them most anywhere else. So what we'll do here is we'll select this part. I press C to get rid of our angle snap. And we're just gonna tuck that guy in there like that. Perfect. Launch this again. We'll see if it has the ability to steer. The older version of the demo had gimbaled engines, which made life so much easier. You don't have gimbaled engines now. Oh yeah, see, much better. That was probably a bit much, actually. But hey, Jeb, maintain prograde. Now it'll fly itself. In fact, I probably could have waited a bit to start that turn. Yep, let's do that again. We don't need to go back to the VAB, we're just going to redo the launch. We're going to wait until we get about 75 meters per second or so. I wasn't waiting before, I just wanted to see if I had capsule torque, and then, yay, I do, and so we can heal over a little bit. See, now with our speeds increasing, these fins are like resisting my efforts to turn, which is kind of what I want them to do. I don't want to turn too steep too quickly. And once I start liking where I'm going, I'll throttle down some. Because now it's like it doesn't want to turn. Because there's a sweet spot in trying to do gravity turn, and I'm not getting it. Probably because I'm a scrub and I don't play the game nearly as much as I should. Okay, those ran out, so now we're totally dependent on these stages here to do all the work. And because I lost 3 engines, I slowed down. I am not a professional at KSP. I pretend to be one on TV, but I'm really not. Alright, we're crossing about 15,000 meters and we're aimed at 45 degrees over. We are slightly inclined. I think we're inclined the wrong way with respect to Minmus. We can select that as a target. Yeah, I need to be going the other way. This is going to be a very sloppy ascent. That's okay. Go back to map view now that our ascent's looking pretty normal. Aside from being really inclined. Yeah, I'm 14 degrees off. If I was a little more careful with it, I could have angled my ascent the other way and been pretty much dead on, but oh well. And we're going to get up to about 70,000 meters and we'll kill our engines by pressing X. We'll see what happens. Our velocity is looking pretty good though. And Jeb is able to keep this thing under control quite well. Oh, did I slow down? That's a bad sign. That means I do not have the fuel to pull off the moon mission. I have to use my Mooner transfer stage to get into orbit. That means I've under-engineered this rocket. But that's okay. I can make this rather... I can fix that quite easily. That's not hard at all. In fact, let's go do that. So you realize in the middle of your mission that you go, hey, I don't have enough rocket. That's not a problem. Let's get rid of that. And we'll use our Alt-click trick to go like this. And we'll snap to grid. We'll go like that. Alright. So now I have all those fired at once. Where are you guys at? Here. Alright, I don't want to have... Oh, hey, I only had one selected. No problem. We'll hit X. That'll toggle my three-way symmetry. Go like that. And now I have to fix my staging order because now I got both of these outer sets of boosters going off at once. That's not what I want. Go like that. There, that fires, that finally goes. Center stack. Okay, great. And all my fuel lines are still here and present. And it even copies over your struts. You shouldn't have to worry about that being a thing. And we'll go ahead and put our fins back on it. Save it, and we'll launch it. This will have more oomph off the pad because now I got 10 engines burning at once instead of 7. Whoa. The demo's a little funny like that. Okay, here we go. T, Z, go. What do you say we aim a little bit towards the north, just a hair? And then we tell Jib to maintain prograde. See, that outermost set of tanks is going to run out pretty quickly. There you go. And you can see the whole engine kind of bend a bit from that when they got rid of it, when the engines ran out. That's because I probably should have put struts up on top. The load forces change appreciably, and suddenly those outer engines aren't pushed at all. They're being dragged along, and the whole, the stress changes and everything. So let's look at to see how it's doing. Where's Minmus? Minmus, where you at? Let's target. And, oh yeah, see, that's looking much better. Just in time to lose those. We can actually throttle down a bit. Now we're going a little bit steeper than we used to. We're going to cross the 45-degree line here on our nav ball, and we're going 22,000 meters up, so we're actually going quite a bit steeper than the first trip. But that's okay, I have all this extra fuel. So we're sitting nice and pretty. And now that I've lost all those outer stages, the only flywheels I got are contained in these capsules and the lander itself. I'll go throttle up all the way. We've cleared most of the dense part of the atmosphere. I do like playing the full version of the game a lot better than the demo, because the demo has some stuff going on with it that I never really fixed. I like this inclination. 0.5 degrees right away. That's pretty good. That looks nice and normal. Yeah, that's actually probably the best Minmus launch I've ever done. If I was doing Minmus. Which is very similar to doing the moon, actually. If I was doing moon, I'd just straight up stinking go for the equator and go for it, but the launch vehicle is essentially identical. It's just you have to worry about inclination more for a Minmus trip. And the landing's a lot easier. Alright, so now we can coast. We can accelerate some and watch the craft wobble ever so slightly because of torque forces. You can see here, yaw and pitch are going nuts. And now we're out of atmosphere. We'll go to 20 seconds. That sounds about good right there. Full throttle. And you see the time to apoapsis is holding steady at 20 seconds. That means I'm basically just the right amount of engine power I need for this. Well, that's about to change in about a few seconds. Now it's going to start dropping some, but that's okay. I'm almost in orbit anyway. It doesn't matter. Hey, it's actually going to stay there. Sweet. Oh, dropped a little bit. It made a liar out of me. So, low Kerbin orbit are about 76,000 meters up. You need to go about 2,200 something meters per second to call it an orbit. I'll have quite a bit of this left over. This will do Minmus very easily. It'll be child's play for Minmus. And we'll wait for ascending or periapsis, apoapsis points to flip radically, and we'll press X to kill thrust. Now in orbit. And because we don't have an engine burning making alternator power, pull out our panels. These panels do not retract. Once you pull them out, they're out. That's all there is to it. Now I can let Jeb just kind of sit up here in space and rot. And that's basically it. So that was essentially getting the heavy work done for a Moon or Minmus trip. And as you can see, even I don't get it right all the time because I do it off memory and gut feeling. I don't do the math. I used to be able to do the math for all this stuff, but I don't deal with that anymore. So there you have it. That's getting a moonshot prepared up, or Minmus shot in this case. And thanks for watching, and I hope you all learned something from that. And if not, oh well, I hope you laughed at my fails, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Thanks for watching.